Welcome everybody to the channel. I'm Forever Taking 89. This is my dad, Sonny.
Hey, how you doing?
So, today what we have for you is right on the screen, Resolution Break Imperial Stout with cold brew coffee, Liege waffles, lactose, and vanilla. We got the bottle right here.
We haven't opened it yet.
No, of course not. We're going to
open it.
Pop it for you guys.
And it's been refrigerated.
Yes, we do keep these refrigerated. Not too cold. I believe we keep the fridge at 55 or so.
Yeah, that's about the right temperature for wine and alcohol.
That's what they say. Well, Bottle Logic recommends 44 degrees on their bottles.
Really?
Actually, I believe so. But we like our stouts to warm up.
Warm up.
So, this is out of Trillium, Boston, Massachusetts. And it's 13.5%, so we're going to go ahead and just get right into this.
Got the opener? Oh, okay, you got it in your ring. All right.
Yeah, little ring opener. Nice little thing right there. All right. So we got our Bottle Logic glasses, because we frequent there quite a bit. Oh, gotta love that sound.
Well, I gotta say, this sounds very, very promising. Let's hope it delivers.
Yeah. So we're gonna pour to the first line, and then
that's a 6-ounce pour, right?
Yeah. Might as well do an 8.
Oh, so twist my arm.
Yeah.
Twist my arm. Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna get that pour going. That's some nice looking lacing.
Nice. The color is great. What I like about it, right off the bat, it's not very foamy. You poured it, and there's just a slight foam on the top. So that sounds promising. It's going to have a good viscosity. And
all right, let's get into the nose right here.
Let's see here.
Well, coffee hits me right away.
Oh, coffee jumps right out at you. Yeah. I think that's all I can smell right now. I mean, that's all that's coming through. It probably won't get the rest until it warms up.
It's just the cold brew coffee for now.
That's why we're talking about, we kind of like our stouts a little warmer, because then the other floral noses start to develop and come out.
Yep. So let's do that. And I'm just going to go right for it.
Okay.
Mouthfeel first.
Okay.
I'd say it's fairly light on the mouthfeel. I mean, it's pretty thin.
Yeah, it doesn't taste like a heavy stout. But what I did like about it, we didn't see a lot of fizzing, so when it hits the palate, it's not very fizzy, because some of these stouts, they hit your palate and they fizz like crazy.
Suds up like when you're drinking a Coke.
Yeah, and that's not bad. It's just a different...
To each their own. That's why, I can drink Mountain Dew out of a can, but not Coke, because it fizzes up right away too much.
Yeah, I mean, that's like some champagnes fizz up crazily and some don't. So, well, it'd be nice to see what happens when it warms up. But let me do this again. So, yeah, it is not real creamy.
I get a little bit of a syrup sweetness, but it's like a hinting at it. Mostly you get the cold brew coffee. It's like it's a fairly light roast taste, like almost like a vanilla roast.
That's a good description. A vanilla roast. And you'll find some of the stout people like us will cup this and warm it up and get the aromas going. It's like hot soup smells better than cold soup.
Yeah, I would say so. Hot tea smells better than cold tea.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
A very nice coffee nose, though. It's not overpowering.
No, and it isn't overpowering on the taste either.
Although I did notice when I let it roll to the sides of my tongues, it fizzed up a little bit more than staying on the top of the palate.
It fizzes on the edge, but not across the whole tongue.
But, that's what's fun about the experience of it. Depending on where you allow that taste to go on your tongue will give you a different experience. Additional experience. So
All right. So I'm gonna take a look through these notes here. So let's say, where did they get in? Brunch inspired Imperial stout, Barrington coffee, and Burgundian waffles. 500 pounds of waffles.
That means probably without the syrup. That gives it more of a dough,
no
waffle.
Syrup.
Yeah, dough waffle
syrup
taste.
in here.
And I think I'm getting that.
So a faintly hazy black. And looking at this in the light, it is pretty dark.
Yeah.
It's pretty dark, but just a hint on the edges of the glass of color. Of like a deep red wine color.
I can't see anything through it. I mean,
no, not through it. Not through it for sure.
Not even on the edge.
So let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Because a lot of times the descriptions can be fairly misleading. I find a lot that in coffee stouts, nearly always when coffee is paired with another adjunct, it normally overwhelms it, and the
coffee's dominant.
The coffee is just entirely too dominant in a lot of coffee stouts, which for a coffee lover is perfect. Great.
That's perfect.
And this is, like we said, this is like a vanilla roast, a very light roast, so it doesn't hit you and just drag you all over the room. You know, it just says, "Here, take a seat." You know.
Yeah, coffee lovers definitely would like this.
Oh, for sure. For sure. But I mean, that's why coffee lovers go for a coffee stout. Now, if they had, here we go. Is continuing with this. It says dark coffee, but it does not taste like a dark roast.
Well, the finish tends to be a little bit on the dark side for me. Once it hits your palate and you let it go down, I'm getting a little bit of that dark roast just as a finish.
Okay. I get more of the, like they say here, in the warm cocoa. Waffle, I'm not really getting the waffle yet. It must need to warm up. Caramelized pearl sugar, vanilla bean glaze. Okay, wash of the cold brew. I mean, roasted nut, dark chocolate bits, subtle earthiness, above medium sweetness. I'm for our tastes in pastry stouts.
For what we know about.
For what we know and love.
Our experiences.
This is a very light sweetness.
Yeah.
Let's see. Thick, luscious mouthfeel. I would tend to disagree with this.
Yeah, luscious, I don't know that I would describe it as that, but it is a good, nice coating, not too bubbly, and it is a little creamy.
Okay.
But I don't know that I would call it luscious.
Well, like we normally said, when it starts to warm up, I am getting a little bit of different characters in the nose.
Yeah.
That's why I'm cupping it, because I want this to warm up a little faster than usual.
I sometimes confuse coffee with the cocoa, the unsweetened chocolate,
yes,
which is a semi-sweet chocolate, which has no real sweetness to it.
Yeah.
So
I can taste a lot of that, but
yeah. And I think that comes more through as it cools down, and then the coffee doesn't. It warms up, so the coffee isn't so dominant.
Okay, I think
the coffee in the nose is becoming more subtle as it's warming up.
Yeah,
it isn't as dominant.
Agree. I get a little bit more of the sweetness that they're talking about.
Yeah, it's starting to come up with
almost like a glaze more than a syrup, but like a waffle that's been glazed over instead of drenched with syrup.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm getting more of the vanilla. Let's see how the taste has changed at all.
But it's becoming a little more creamy as it warms up as well. I'm getting more creaminess.
It certainly foams more.
Yeah, but
it foams a little bit.
Yeah,
but
not fuzzy though, not fuzzy. It's just more of a creamy foam. Yes, that's it.
So
foam would be a good word.
Definitely you definitely, if you want to hit the tasting notes that they're talking about in the description, you need to start letting it warm up.
Yeah.
Either leave it out for half an hour before you dig into it, or 15 minutes, because I mean we've had this in our hands, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the recording time is right now, but for sure as it's warming up and getting more of that cream. I mean, let's see.
I would say though that it is fun in a way to start it, taste it, and see the transition, experience the transition in the nose and the flavor as it does warm up.
But somebody who wants to take it out and present it at its absolute finest,
right?
Because they only have one bottle, they don't have easy access to trade or whatnot, you know, or you want to take it to your buddy's house who lives in the center of the country and has no breweries with which to trade for stuff like this. You would want to present this to them at that optimal
then
range.
my suggestion would be to pour just a little bit, so you get a little bit of that cold nose and the cold
Experience
flavor.
it at first,
then let it sit. Yeah, and then let it sit and see if it does improve. As we're advocating here, that as it warms up, it really starts to what they call in the wine world open up.
No, yeah, for sure.
But I'm enjoying it. I mean, it's. Of course, we like stouts, flavored stouts.
That's your favorite.
Mine. Yes, that's my favorite.
I think the coffee's still pretty dominant, but I think what I'm getting more of is the vanilla.
The vanilla,
in there. The
it's
waffles
blending in with the coffee.
The waffles either so blended or so subtle that I can't really pick it out.
Well, you've got to think of what does a waffle take the minute you take it off the iron and take a bite of it. I think that's what I taste. There's nothing on it, no glaze, no syrup, no butter, no nothing. It's just a waffle, and you take a bite.
It would have to be mixed in with the vanilla, because I mean, waffle in and of itself is great, but it is a subtle, doughy. You know, it's not something that just smacks you in the face. Now, these waffles on the bottle, they look, you know, like something otherworldly. But
well, that's because when you see waffles, you immediately think, okay, where's the syrup on it?
Yeah,
you're going to drench the syrup on it, and your brain is telling you waffles and syrup.
So you're Pavloving to the syrup, not the waffle.
Yeah,
the waffle means syrup. Will soon follow.
What it's going to be, yes. Oh yeah.
All right. Well, I think let's see. Give this a little more time to warm up. But other than that, I think we should probably get into our scores.
Okay.
So I would say, given what this says on the bottle, cold brew coffee, waffles, lactose, vanilla.
And
right?
whose is this?
Just judging by this is Trillium.
Trillium, okay.
So just judging by what it says on the bottle, not the full description of the notes in front of us. Let's go ahead and judge the nose. We're going to use a 5 scale. Out of 5, we're going to judge the nose, the mouthfeel, and then the taste and finish. So let's go with the nose. So I definitely get the coffee.
Yeah, that's
and that vanilla. And it's got a certain sweetness that would, I guess, lead to the waffle. Like, if you take a bite of just waffle, because it's carbs, simple carbs, they're going to break down into simple sugars in your mouth, and as well with the lactose in there. Is it that subtle, milky, creamy sweetness?
The creaminess of it.
I think waffle's the only thing missing. So I don't know. That is so blended. I think I put this at a 4. As far as the nose, out of 5, accurate to what it says. Carnal sin.
Oh, sorry.
There we go. I think I give it a 4 as far as how accurate it is. It is a pleasant nose. Yeah, 4 is what I'm going with.
See, as far as the accuracy of the nose, to my nose, I would say maybe 3.5. But the nose itself, I mean, the minute it comes to your face, I mean, the coffee jumps right out at you. So, I mean, it's nice to have a nose that really, when it hits your nose, I mean, it's there. Something's there. We've had stouts where there's no bouquet at all.
Yeah, true.
You go down there, wait a minute, they described it. Where
you
is
don't
it?
smell
It's
any
all
of it.
blind. But immediately the coffee jumped out, and as it warms up, a little bit of that undertone of vanilla. And then
vanilla and lactose.
And then as it warms up to, then the cocoa, the chocolate unsweetened chocolate starts to blend in with the coffee. Because I get that confused with the coffee and the.
But that's not so much on the bottle. And I'm judging purely based off the bottle. I think for me it's a 4.
You're right.
So you say 3 and
I'd say
3.5.
3.5.
Okay.
For me.
So then let's go into the mouthfeel.
Okay. That's a good mouthfeel.
It's good, but for what we like, I'd probably put it at a 3. I like there to be a bit more viscosity. Well, you go.
Yeah, I would think it's about a 3.5 anyway, at least, because it's a very nicely balanced. It hits the palate from beginning to end, and it just really balances nicely all over. And it's a very smooth, and it's, now that it's warmed up, of course, it's creamy, because it wasn't quite like that when we first tasted it.
Yeah,
it's a creamier flavor.
I was gonna say 3, but I think I have to go with the 3.5. As far as what we like in a mouthfeel, it's not quite as thick as we normally like it.
That's why
doesn't
we're not
have
going
as much viscosity. This is why it's not like a
4
or 5
or 4.5 or 5. Yes, agreed.
So 3.5, 3.75. I think it would be tops for this one. It does offer a good creaminess to it, but it's just not, for us, I think, quite thick enough.
Yeah.
So
it's a thinner stout, but nicely balanced, and
Oh yeah, it's definitely a well done beer. But as far as in our experience, what's been a 5, this kind of rings in right around a 3.5 as far as mouthfeel. So I guess let's hit the taste and finish, and then we'll go with our overall rating, and that'll close us out for today.
Okay, taste and finish. I'm going to tell everybody out there you've got to try these stouts cold, let them warm up, because the character really changes, and that's what's happening now. It's like, okay, I think I'm changing my mind now of what I think about the taste.
I took a large mouthful. I'm going to take a small one. So for me, the coffee overpowers. Coffee overpowers the other adjuncts, which it is a pleasant coffee. But when the bottle promises the waffle, lactose, vanilla, it's a very subtle.
Yeah.
And when I think a brunch, like an Imperial stout that is inspired by brunch, I don't think mainly coffee. I think mainly the waffle, lactose, and vanilla, and then you're sipping on your coffee. You're not just slamming an espresso shot every time that you're eating a bite of waffle.
Agree. You would expect the waffle and the vanilla and the coffee to be an undertone rather than being the dominant flavor.
Yes.
That's what I would.
So
that's what I would think.
I would have to say, because it's very, even though the coffee is dominant, it's very well done. I'm going to give it a 3 instead of a 2.5.
Yeah.
But I have to go with the 3, I would say. What's yours?
Well, I don't know. It's a tough one. I'm wobbling between a 3 and a 3.5. because it's so nicely balanced, and because I'm not a coffee drinker, and the coffee doesn't dominate. It's easy to drink with the vanilla undertones on it.
Well, it dominates but doesn't overpower.
Well, that's true. That's true. Overpower is the word I think I wanted to use. It doesn't overpower. So I think I would go with the 3.5 as well. I think 3.5 pretty much across the board because of how nicely balanced it is, how smooth. There isn't a real bitter aftertaste. There's no bad finish. It's a pretty nice finish.
Sometimes a coffee stout can have a pretty gnarly bitter on the finish.
Yeah, and it's actually better because when we tasted it cold, that coffee finish really hit the back of my palate. Whereas this, now that it's warmed up, is pretty much smooth from beginning to end.
Now I'm starting to really get the cocoa undertones that they were talking about. Even in the nose, I hit coffee and then I hit cocoa.
Yeah, and my taste buds tend to confuse the coffee and the cocoa because they're both unsweetened flavors, and that like dry,
almost a bittersweet flavor.
Yeah.
So I think overall, what it comes down to is 3.5 across the board
for me.
And between my 3, 3.5, and 4, that pretty much gives it a 3.5 as well. We have very similar palates.
Well, wait a minute. You're a whiskey guy. I'm a bourbon guy, so there is some difference.
I do like an Irish whiskey, but I do love my bourbons too.
Okay, yeah.
For their sweetness.
Yeah.
But that's going to be our verdict, folks. We give it a 3.5. Now, that's not to say that this isn't a great beer. In the field of craft beer that we personally don't like, it's not our style, to this is our style, the best we've ever had, it sits in the middle of that range for us. This is an extremely well-crafted beer. If you got this, you would not be sad that you did. It would be an enjoyable experience. So don't let that 3.5 make you think that, oh, this is not something I want to get. If you have the opportunity, definitely get it, drink it. Most of Trillium's stouts are going to be worth your money, worth your time.
Yeah. Trillium is generally always come across very nicely, very highly crafted.
Yes.
But if you've not tasted the 5s that we've tasted, you may think this is a 4.5 yourself. And that's only because we've had the good luck to taste 5s.
Yes.
So, in parting, cheers. Enjoy. Go get yourself a stout. Try it. If you don't, you're missing out.
Enjoy, guys.
All right.
And I'll catch you on the next video.